Excuse me. Sorry. Can you guys hear me? I would love to blame the cats. I feel like you guys are actually hearing me through, maybe you're hearing me through the camera now. What the heck is going on? It's not the right audio. Yes, Apollo. All right, we'll just go with that for now. It is what it is. Go with the flow, I suppose. All right, so let's go ahead and get the community read going. I'm going to use my Lenormand, so this will be like our energy for the weekend as we, the community, go into the weekend. Let's see. All right, first card. Here we go. Second card. And last card. One more card. Here we go. So at first glance, it looks like we are going to have a little bit of a struggle this weekend in terms of some conflicts. And interesting, this is listed as the broom, but I think this is the whip. So the whip has to do with just unhappiness, fights and arguments and disputes and stuff. So I feel like there's going to be some of that going on this weekend. And mice, if I recall correctly, that has to do with I think mice is gossip. So let's see here. Mice has to do with, oh no, not gossip. Sorry, guys. Stress and anxiety. So I feel like you are going to have some arguments here with this broom that are going to cause some stressors, some anxiety, just overall bad experiences. Oh gosh, this feels very ominous for such a cute deck. And with the mountain card at the end, that is going to cause overall like roadblocks or obstacles or whatever. So I feel like this weekend, if I were to give any advice based off of what I'm seeing here, is to try to protect your energy, try to avoid any unnecessary arguments, and any arguments or disagreements that do happen, try to let it roll off your back. Don't let it cause any anxieties or anything like that here in the center of your reading with the mice card, that in order to avoid any blockages. All right, let's go ahead and get into the regular readings. Sorry if you hear Apollo in the background. He's on my nerves today. All right, let's get this all shuffled. Let's see. I see Midnight join the queue. Thank you for joining, Midnight. Go ahead, put your question in the chat as I shuffle the deck and get all like settled. I know, isn't that strange? Usually it's the other one. I don't even want to say her name out loud unless she like appear out of nowhere. What is your question, Midnight? I know, Marshy, right? Like, that's not the news I want to hear going into the weekend. I feel like us in the States, maybe it's more like general energy that's happening. If you know, you know. All right. So I'm finally relaxed. Hopefully I didn't lose you, Midnight. Oh, did you? Oh, damn. Hold on. Oh, sorry. Thank you. All right. Let's see. Let's pull you an extra card, too. What would you like? Let's see. What would you would like to know what to expect for the week ahead? Okay, let's see. Let's see. We'll use this oracle as like your theme. Here we go. Ooh, unlimited potential. This is the infinity card. So that's, ooh, so let's see what the tarot has for you. I'll set that here. We got a lot of the Seven of Swords from this deck last week. All right. You have the Infinity card, which is your high potential. Seven of Swords, Four of Wands, and the Justice card. So I feel like I'll just kind of go in order here. I feel like going off of like continuing what we were talking about with the community read, I feel like Midnight, for the week ahead, you might want to be careful about about a little bit of self-sabotage. So be careful about like things like self-limiting thoughts, and be careful about like putting yourself down, stuff like that, or just overall negative vibes, negative thoughts that really kind of keep you from moving forward and enjoying the week, because really what that's going to do is distract from this Four of Wands. The Four of Wands really indicates that there are going to be some really fun and good things that happen this week. You just have to let yourself enjoy them. And this could be a sign that you are celebrating something special, or your friends are celebrating something special and you are joining them. This could be a few things, but there is this element of community there that I think that you should allow yourself to explore throughout the week, because I think a lot of that joy and happiness will come from that. That I think a lot of the celebration would come from that community. And then on the other side, the Justice card is really like a reminder. I think it's like a reminder of this dynamic here of, if you are looking for bad things to happen throughout the week, then that is what you will most likely get out of it. So the energy that you put into the week is going to be the energy you get out. And there's really nothing stopping you from having a good week ahead of you other than your own self. So it's like a reminder to stay out of your own way, to get out of your own way, however you want to phrase that. And there is also, it feels a little bit like kind of go with the flow a bit. And when things are working, like lean into them and try not to think your way out of it, really, with that Seven of Swords. That's really where I see the worry there, is focusing too much on the wrong things. Yeah. And I think that this paired with the unlimited potential really tells me that, you know, it kind of gives that, what's that phrase? The world is your oyster kind of vibe. So I feel like next week has a lot of potential to be really great. Just allow yourself the space to actually experience that and enjoy it, and just be a part of that. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on with this. The chat was not loading for some reason. You feel called out. Hey, it's good. A good call out. It's a reminder to get your head out your own ass, so to speak. You're welcome. Alrighty, Marshy, you are up next. Welcome, Ari and SB. Welcome to the queue. Welcome to the chat. Make sure you guys like this video. It helps with the algorithm. But yeah, I mean, stay positive, but it's more so, it's not even like, you know, that whole love and light bullshit. It's more so like, enjoy the good things that are happening for you. And, you know, you could just be regular, but just allow yourself to enjoy the good moments. Stuff like that. Okay, Marshy, let's see. Let's give this a quick shuffle. I love this deck. It shuffles so beautifully. It's really easy to use. Okay, Marshy, let's see what to expect for next week. The next card. All right, next card. Here we go. One more. So you have the Four of Cups, the Ace of Wands, and the Seven of Wands. Hold on. Oh, goodness. Sorry, guys. Goodness. I think this feels more reversed. All right. So I'm going to start in the middle of the reading here with this Ace of Wands. I feel like next week is really going to spark something in you. Something is going to really set the wheels in motion where it's going to feel like it's almost like the start of something new, or like revisiting something in a new way. And it will feel very much, oh, thank you for the bless you, by the way. It'll feel very much like it could come in like inspiration, or feeling like you are revisiting the things that you might have been passionate about in the past, or you might be discovering new passions. I think it can manifest in a lot of ways. It feels the way that I see it, it feels more so like it's rediscovering the things that you really, really loved and were really passionate about maybe in the past, and for whatever reason, either they didn't work out, or you didn't have the time to focus on them and give them the like love and care and stuff you needed to make it into anything worthwhile, or just even spending time with it. So I feel like next week is really going to be like the catalyst for that, where you're going to start to feel a lot of energy shift, so to speak. On one side, I've reversed this because we have a lot of fire energy here in the wands, whereas the cups here, that water energy doesn't necessarily mesh well with that. So I reversed it, and it feels like it meshes better with the entire reading. The Four of Cups can sometimes be about like missed opportunities, or being presented with something and you just can't, you're not in the space to receive it. And I feel like maybe that's what it was saying. It's something that happened in the past. And now, because whatever happens next week, whatever that spark is, you feel like you are now able to accept it in and really explore it and bring it into yourself, into your life, into your process, or goals, whatever that looks like. So um, I think this is really where you start to be very decisive about how and where you put your emotional energy, what you're really putting your emotional energy into, the things that really make you happy, and ultimately deciding to choose the things that make you happy. So I feel like that's going to be your theme for the week, is really finding that joy and those things that make you happy. On the other side, we have the Seven of Wands. So I told you a lot of fire energy going around. This week will kind of present you with like needing to maintain control over things, right? So sometimes when we get these energy shifts, it can knock us off balance a little bit. But I think because this is something that will make you feel very much more reconnected emotionally, it's actually really a good thing. It's going to feel like you really persevered through a time that you felt maybe a little lost emotionally, you felt like you really didn't have any actual passions to focus on. And it's almost like almost like stepping out of that phase and feeling like you are triumphant and you have persevered through that journey and you're now coming out on top of it. So I'll pull this card closer. It's almost like you see all these wands that might have been causing trouble for this little guy here, and he or she is standing on top of this hill, away from the wands and feeling like they've made it to the top finally. So I think next week's going to be really exciting in that. I don't think that next week is about seeing any of that come through to fruition. I think it's going to be more so along the lines of like, oh, something new is happening. You can feel that shift happening. And it with the ace is the beginning, right? New journeys, new things happening. So you're going to be at the precipice of something new versus seeing it come to any conclusion or resolution, which is kind of a good thing. It's really, really fun. Thank you, Luke, for helping out. Yep, if you're having trouble, make sure you put the exclamation point before the join. And also, please don't all caps me. I don't know if this is a generational thing, but it feels very much like you're screaming at me, and I don't like that. All right, Ari, you're up next. And then in the queue, I have SB and Luke, and I think Luke is helping Fun Boy figure things out. Oh, okay. No worries. I can remove you from the queue. If you want to join, you can always rejoin. There we go. You've asked me a few different job questions, Ari, about comparisons of different places and how they might go. You've also asked me on like what cities might be more beneficial for jobs for you, and trying to think different like career options, I believe. Trying to dig into the archives. There you go, Fun Boy. Yep, you got it right. I realized I lost my music. All right. Did you, Marshy, did you do your like, fancy brownies or just regular brownies? Either way, feel like I can smell them. No, I don't think you've asked me about blockages. Maybe not directly, but let's see, Ari, why you're having so many blockages. All right, next card. All right, third card. Oh, wow. All major arcana. So this is something that has stuck with you for a while. You have sorry, scoot these over so you can see a little better. You have the Empress, you have Death, and then you have the Wheel of Fortune. So I'm gonna kind of hop around here, start with the Wheel of Fortune. I think the Wheel of Fortune is really just, when the Wheel of Fortune pops up, sometimes it can be a really, really great thing. It can be a sign that there are things on the horizon, but the key thing about the Wheel of Fortune is it reminds us that everything is a cycle. So when we sometimes might have some highs, we are also going to have those lows. And I feel like this is indicative that while you are having trouble right now, Ari, it's temporary, and it's it almost feels like it's saying it's just a walk of life, right? It's just how things are. You are going to experience these cycles. So the takeaway from just this card, and we'll kind of get into the other ones, is to not take it personally. We've kind of all been there, and it just kind of is what it is for a little bit. But let's look at these cards. So with the Empress, I wonder where, as you are going through the job thing, are you just going through the motions in your applications, or are you like nurturing and curating them for what it is that you're looking for? Because some people can luck up and just throw a bunch of stuff against the wall and see what sticks, while others have to be a little more strategic and curate a bit more how they are going to accomplish finding what they're trying to find, right? In this case, a job. The thing about the Empress that I really like is that element of nurturing, and there's this little bit of element about spirituality. I don't really know, Ari, how, like, if you're into that kind of stuff or not. So if you are, maybe try to lean into that side of things and see if you can unblock the things that are being blocked for you for now, like in the downswing of the Wheel of Fortune. Usually if I have like witches or pagans that come to me and I get like a card like this or something similar, I would say maybe like a road opening spell or a prosperity spell or something like that. If you're not into that, maybe more what would be a good alternative? More like mindfulness, or if you're into like the law of attraction kind of stuff, manifestation a little bit, that kind of stuff. So I think that finding ways to nurture this and really grow yourself to match what curate yourself, your applications, your interviews, whatever, to better match what it is that you're looking for. Now, in the center here, we have the Death card. This is actually really cool because it feels very much like everything right now is in flux. It never feels awesome when you're in it, but the Death card really indicates like once you get through that transition, if you're able to make the necessary changes that you need to better reflect your needs and your journey and stuff like that, then you're really going to come out a changed person, and that means you're going to be putting a different foot forward than you were previously. Sorry, let me read the chat. It does sound like Studio Ghibli. It's like a copyright-free version of that. What is going on with my chat? Sorry, guys. I'm having like technical difficulties today. Okay, there we go. Yeah, Ari, honestly, I think the key to a lot of your needs are going to be this transformation card, right? Like, who were you previously, and how are you presenting yourself previously? And based off of the feedback that you were getting from those jobs, how can you transition into a like RE 2.0? And what does it entail? Some of it is going to entail a little bit of nurturing yourself and like I mentioned before, curating based off of some of the feedback, but based off of a little bit of that instinct you have as well in this regard. And then the other side with this Wheel of Fortune is partially going to be a little bit of luck too. So, but yeah, I think that you need to find some balance here in that regard. So the luck side of things is where I tend to really recommend people try to do like some road openers or some ways to like more spiritually unblock themselves. Whereas this one side, the Empress, feels much more deliberate in embracing themselves and putting actual deliberate effort into themselves in order to grow and become, like I said, RE 2.0. Yeah, Midnight, you're so right. It definitely depends on like the specific fields you're trying to get into, the area that you're in, and the competition for that, for the area you're in and the fields you're trying to get into. Yeah, positive affirmation, stuff like that. I would say like I'll just call it like general mindfulness in order to like rewire how your brain is working would probably be a really good start on top of taking that feedback that you have gotten from previous employers. Hi, Whimsically. Hi, Danny. Welcome to the queue. Alrighty, SB, you are up next. Go ahead, put your question in the chat. Cat power. Yeah, Apollo has been like up my ass all day. I don't know what his deal is. He's being an annoying little butt. All right, SB, let's see what's coming towards you in love. All right, next card. Here we go. Last card here. So, we have the 10 of Wands, the 5 of Wands, and then we have the Hanged Man. I'll be honest with you, SB. I don't think anything is coming right now. You got to get through this here, and accomplish this before I feel like anything opens itself up to you. Anything prior to that is going to either be fickle or superficial, I feel like. So the Ten of Wands really is like really a sign that you need to complete a cycle that you're in. And this, based off of what I'm seeing, is it feels like maybe attracting the wrong people into your life. And the Ten of Wands, let me just describe the Ten of Wands real quick. So the Ten of Wands is really indicative of the end of a cycle, because we have the 10 here, but then also Wands is really indicating that it's been like an uphill battle to get to this point. So every time, so what I'll throw some examples out in terms of your question. So that means like every time you have come into maybe possible relationships, it always ends up being some sort of issue in some way. I think with the Five of Wands, it's probably more indicative that there's a lot of like disagreements, not on the same page, maybe out and out arguments, and things just don't work out right. And you've been dealing with that. So I think that like this really indicates to me that you got to get yourself out of this loop. One of the things that's missing in this reading, and during my lives, this pops up a lot, where I feel like if this were a private reading, I would seclude these and dive into how to overcome this. This hints on it. So the Hanged Man really indicates to me that you need to... So I'm going to flip this around. This is the true picture of what I think is happening. This is what I think needs to happen. So the Hangman in reverse is really indicative that you're not willing right now, or just not aware enough to even conceive being willing to let go of this cycle for some reason. There's something here that holds you there. I don't know if it's like preference, just some people are weirdly comfortable in the box that they've set for themselves, even though they're consciously aware it's not right. Whatever that thing is, and I feel like as I'm talking, some things might be triggering in your mind, and I would ask you to like sit with those ideas. Why are you unwilling to let those go? Why are you not willing to like sacrifice that and see how you can change your perspective on how you approach romantic interests and partnerships and relationships? A lot of this really seems very internal in terms of how you... So wands are external, but what I mean is like there's an internal side of this that I think is not being explored, and it's manifesting externally into this. So how can you switch that around? Like, as I'm talking, what are the things you think that you need to release or face in a kind of way, and decisively let go of and sacrifice in order to change how you are approaching relationships? So I think until you do this, I don't see anything really worthwhile coming towards you. Now, that's not to say you might not meet people or anything like that. I'm sure that's actually going to happen. It's just, in terms of anything viable, then, or like long lasting or anything like that, I don't see that. Not yet. Anyway, kind of have to get through this roadblock. Midnight, that's so true. A note app is such a great idea, Luke. All right, Fun Boy, you are up next. Can you post your question again? Not in all caps, please. Why are you being such a turd, Apollo? I hope that helps, SB. Make sure you guys like the video if you've been enjoying these readings. It helps with the algorithm. And I'm so sorry. I'm still like so snotty for some reason. I can't get rid of this congestion. Alrighty, let's see if there are any blockages for you, Fun Boy. Next card. Here we go. All right. Yeah, you're totally welcome, SB. I think that's a great idea. I love that. And honestly, like if you explore like common elements and stuff like that, feel free to come back and we can explore them. I mean, unless it's private, then do your journaling. So, Fun Boy, you have the Queen of Cups, Page of Swords, and King of Swords. I don't think there are any blockages at all. I think part of it is building the confidence to communicate and work with your deity of choice. The Page of Swords, pages are they're the messengers of the courts of the kings, queens, knights, pages. They're the messengers. So this is indicative that you're getting messages, you're open to messages, you're probably receiving messages. I think that it's just maybe you're a little green, or by green I mean a little inexperienced, and therefore you're not necessarily receiving them completely or accurately or something like that. Apollo, knock it off. My cat is wilding today. So in understanding that, and I think that you're being sent these messages, and maybe you're struggling to receive them, and it's creating this restlessness that really causes a disconnect with the other side of these things here with your queen and king. So the Queen of Cups, she is cups imbue water, queens imbue water. So there's a lot of water energy that's happening here. I don't know if you're working, so I don't know who your deity is. So I don't know which one represents more so you versus them. I feel like maybe the queen is more you and the king is maybe more your deity. So the queen is someone that is very sure of herself. She's very in tune with her own emotions. The Queen of Cups specifically really understands like how to be compassionate, how to really just go with the flow a little bit. And she is a very calm queen. She's very calm, cool, and collected. And I think there's a little bit that you kind of need in this journey. So don't try to force it. Don't give in to the restlessness of the page. The page is very, pages are, while they can be very studious, they're really young in that sense. So don't give in to that. Try to embrace more of that calm, steady energy. What I'll say is like, picture a steady flowing stream of the queen, right? So there are going to be twists and turns. Sometimes there are going to be a few roadblocks, some rocks in the river, but ultimately you find ways to flow around it. And that's really what you want to look for in this journey. On the other side, excuse me, on the other side, you have the King of Swords. So I don't like do identifications or anything. I also transparently don't necessarily like the whole deity paganism side of things is a little distant for me in my practice. But I feel like the thing that you really want to focus on is finding some discipline and structure in this, and I think that will mesh well with your deity of choice if he falls into that sort of paradigm. The King of Swords, swords imbue air, and kings imbue air. So you have a lot of like doubles here that I really like. So the king, kings in general are the leaders of their domain. This specifically, Santa Muerte. Okay, yeah, I don't really. I know it has to do with. I know of them, I should say. So the kings are very logical, very thoughtful, very intelligent. Sometimes they can be a little cold and difficult to connect to. So I think that if you just relax into the queen energy and build that confidence up, you'll start to understand the signs a little bit better. I'll use people for my analogy here because, like I said, I don't work with deities enough to be able to do that. But imagine someone who is really in tune with their emotions, kind of leads with their emotions, and can suck people into their calmness and their joy and their love and stuff like that, versus someone who's the polar opposite, who's very logical and very cerebral, very much in their head. Finding ways to find that balance and connection. I think that is what has to happen. You needed to be slapped in the face with a wet tuna. Yeah. What I will say is, though it comes off as cold, this energy, don't take that to heart, right? It is what it is, right? Just like people have their own kind of style of interacting with other people. It is what it is. So find that connection. And if this is your deity of choice, make this a fun experiment or a fun journey. There's not going to be a test at the end. You're not going to be graded. This is about you, your deity, and your journey together. Midnight is great with that. She is my pagan counterpart and really understands like the deity connections and stuff way much more than me. So you're welcome, fun boy. Good luck. Okay, Whimsically, you are up next. I think my phone is charged enough. Okay, so guys, I want to see a cute picture of Luna. Look at Luna here. She's warming her bum on the air vent because the heat is on. She looks like a little blob. Like, she's so skinny, but look at her. She looks all hunched over. She looks like a black blob with eyes. And look, here's another one. She's so cute. She's my little angel. Okay, sorry. Had to show you guys some cat photos. Thank you, Whimsically. She's my precious little baby. From time to time, Midnight Luna will do that. She'll like just not come to bed, and she'll sleep on the couch. I'm like, what did I do? Why am I being You know what? She comes. So if you ever join me for my monthly tarot times with Priscilla from Priscilla's Tarot Corner, she will pop up from time to time. We call her the star of the show. She did look like a blob, Luke. Okay, let's see how you can build a, how you can make your connection deeper with your deity. Ooh, okay, let's go with this card. Ooh, our first repeat of the night. Our second repeat of the night. Okay, interesting. Last card here. All majors. This is the second reading with all majors. And what's funny is almost all the same cards except for the one. So you have the Justice card, Empress card, and the Moon. I feel like, so part of this is going to be like obvious, but I feel like Tarot is telling me to, I feel like I'm meant to say it out loud. So I'm just going to say it. If you want a deeper connection, you have to spend more time building a deeper connection. That's really what the Justice card is saying. It's like you're gonna get the connection out that you put it into it. So if you're just kind of haphazardly doing stuff, or maybe from time to time, there's really no regularity, there's really no intent or consistency rather, then yes, consistency, that is the word, then you're gonna get that same energy out. So that's gonna be the key here to everything going forward, is whatever the recommendation, if you don't have that consistency, you're not gonna get the consistency back. So oh, okay, Aphrodite slash Venus. Interesting. Let me look up these major arcana in the sense of like the aspects. Hold on. Because now you got me curious. So, Justice is, okay, Air, Libra. The Empress is Venus. Okay. This is making sense. I love these little connections. And then we have the Moon, which is Pisces slash water. So, oh, okay, awesome. Honestly, okay, thank you for filling that in, because I feel like as long as you keep doing what you're doing, you're probably already on the right track. So the Empress, I think this is like, so I looked it up. This is also, the Empress also represents Venus. And I think this is a sign like, oh yeah, I'm with you already. Like, you're doing what you need to be doing. But then also the Empress, I mentioned in a previous reading, she is the nurturer. She is willing to grow things how she sees fit. But the Empress is also very intuitive on how that needs to happen. So I feel like whatever connection you guys already have, you kind of have already intuited where you might want to continue that focus. And one of the suggestions would probably be the Moon card. So the Moon is also highlighting that intuition, but the thing about the moon that I like is like, what have you not uncovered about your relationship with Venus? And what I mean by that, like, where do you feel the gaps are? Because the moon, so when you have a full moon, it can make the night sky really bright. It can make everything really bright around you, but it's not like the sun. It doesn't wash out the shadows. So there are still hidden aspects of your relationship. And I think that's going to be the part that you really want to dive deeper into. So as I mentioned before, as I'm talking, I'm sure something is popping up. There's sort of like ideas firing off. Those are the things that you really want to explore. What has not been uncovered between you two? What has not been explored? Stuff like that. So that part, whimsically, I don't take that to heart, right? Like, we can't be on all the time. We're human. Sometimes we just don't have it in us to expel any energy for anything other than getting through the day, and that's okay. So there's no repercussions for going through those struggles. Is justice also associated with Venus? Why? Because of the scales? Yeah, honestly, Midnight's right. We don't have the spoons all the time, and it kind of just is what it is. I used that for this card earlier with someone else. Sometimes it just is what it is. You feel how you feel. Just know in the back of your head that, like, when you're ready to come back, Venus is there. But like, I would also maybe to help keep that consistency going, I would recommend looking up low spoon methods of deity worship, I guess. Deity work, whatever that is to you. I wish I had like suggestions for you. I don't do that, so I don't know what that looks like on a regular basis, let alone to give you low spoon ideas. But I mean, it could even be something as small as like, okay, I said I have no idea, but I have an idea. Like, it could be something as small as having like a specific journal app or something where you could just leave a voice note for the day for Venus, you know, whatever that looks like and whatever makes sense to you. Yeah, the lovers make sense. Yeah, I think Empress and lovers. I'm not sure, Luke, about justice. I don't totally agree with that one, but also, like I said, I don't claim to be an expert. Oh, okay, Danny, that makes sense. Okay, so it's like through the grapevine. So you have a lot of elements of Venus in your reading. You're very welcome, Whimsically. Welcome to the queue, Cookie. All right, Danny, you are up next. Thank you guys for checking on these things. I don't, the part that I love about lives is like when people get, into it and start looking stuff up for me. My girl's slinging cards on the internet, so I don't claim to know everything. I know what I know, and I don't know what I don't know. I like that, Whimsically. That's a great idea. Cookie, thank you so much for subscribing. So, Danny, I don't do third-party readings, but I can do, like, what's the energy between you guys, if that's okay. Well, that's a good idea, Midnight. See, I always forget about the whole dream aspect because I cannot remember a lot of my dreams to save my life. And usually usually I remember the dreams that are associated with me watching way too much TV or something like that. Okay, awesome. Sounds good. All right, let's see what is going on between you and Adam. Energy between Danny and Adam. You have the Tower, the Star, and the Nine of Pentacles. It's very interesting. It almost feels like a crossroads here where you're, as I'm looking at this. So I think I need to talk through it, and I think I'll kind of come to a train of thought as I do that. The Tower card can be indicative of a lot of flux and a lot of surprising changes. A lot of times people associate the Tower with negativity. It's not necessarily negative. It's just that a lot of times as people, we don't respond well to surprising changes that are thrust upon us that are out of our control. There's also the element of the Tower where you are breaking down your walls and getting to the foundation of things. I don't know necessarily what would trigger that, because these are really positive cards. So I feel like there is something there between you guys. I guess it just doesn't necessarily exist yet. And that's why we have this Tower here. I think with the Tower card, Sorry, I'm thinking. The way that I think I would word this is I don't necessarily see romance, but I do see a connection here where you guys are being drawn to each other right now. So usually when I see that pop up, what I like to do is tell people to explore it a little bit. So I explain the Tower. In the center of your reading, you have the Star card. The Star is very much the it is very, very adorable. The Star card is the card of hope, right? And having the water flowing really just shows like there is energy moving, feeling a little rejuvenated in how things are going. And it's almost like feeling like faith is being restored. So what this feels like is a very interesting journey between you guys, in the sense that I don't know that it's necessarily romantic, but I think that you guys will both get something out of it. And maybe it's almost like a necessary stepping stone into the next phase of things. Because at the end of it, you have the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles to me is like, this is the card of luxury. This is feeling like you are reaping the fruits of all of your labor. You are reaping all of the rewards of all your hard work, and you just get to bask in it. So I feel like what I'm describing to you is almost like accepting a life lesson coming into your life. And it feels like a weird way to tell someone, like, yeah, this person, you guys are probably going to have a thing. May not be long lasting, but it's going to be an important thing for you to go through. And it sounds very strange to put it that way. But the thing also about the Pentacles is there's this, Pentacles imbue the earth energy, and that is very much a sign of stability. Sorry. So guys, I'm going to close the queue. Whoever's in it is in it, but so don't worry. But yeah, so how I will summarize this is, if I were to give like a single word answer to your question, maybe. Probably, actually, I would say probably. Probably something that's going to be romantic, but it feels very much more of a whirlwind thing that just kind of turns into this really awesome, like, period of growth for you. But I don't think it'll necessarily end negatively between you guys. I don't foreseeing it working out. Also, I will caveat, I'm a girl slinging cards on the internet. Please do not make any like major life decisions based off of what I'm telling you. This is just another checkbox of something to go off of in making your ultimate decisions. Let's go with that. Okay. But yeah, Danny, I think that this would be interesting. I feel like, I guess selfishly, I feel like you should explore it and see where it goes. Obviously this is the internet, so be safe about how you're doing that and how you're exploring, like, connecting with people on the internet. But that aside, yeah, kind of midnight, maybe. It feels very nebulous, like it could go anywhere between the tower and the star, where it just feels like a bit of a whirlwind that can just turn into something really awesome. It's like a story could be written from it. Danny, I'm glad. This is one of those weird readings that's like a little elusive to me. Hi, Dorilla. All right, Cookie, you're up next. Go ahead, put your question in the chat. It's so interesting when I get readings like that where I'm just like, there's just doesn't seem to be like a real answer. It just kind of seems like a go forth and conquer and see what happens kind of thing. Very interesting. And I guess it feels a little like elusive to me because I don't personally like that. I like for some sense of structure and stability in how I go about things. So maybe it's just me. Maybe nobody, like others, are not even feeling any kind of way about it. Dorella, sorry, I actually closed my queue for the night. I will be back next week. But feel free to hang out with us. Gotta love a chaotic whirlwind. I'm almost done. My little ham is having a fit. Really? What else? Oh, really? It's like that? I'm really enjoying this deck. I feel like, yeah, Cookie, yeah, go ahead and post your question. I'm really liking this deck. I'm gonna pull something out for next week. I just don't know what it is. I love this deck. I don't want to stop using it. Is anyone doing anything fun this weekend? I know you're not. have friends that live in Denton. Hello. I'm not going to use tarot for that. I'm going to actually use my little crystal ball oracle here. This deck. So let's see if you're going to get approved for Carmel Villas Apartments. This is an unsatisfying answer. Listen to your intuition. Let me see. I'll pull one tarot card to kind of support that card and see what it says. Six of Wands. So, combined with trust your intuition, Six of Wands, I think this is saying, like, how can you, if you've already put your application in, then perhaps yes. If you haven't, or you have a few other phases to go, the tarot is like a reminder of how can you put your best foot forward? How can you make yourself stand out? The Six of Wands is really about standing out and being recognized for doing so by others. So yeah, I would say that there looks like a good possibility of being approved. If you have the chance to make yourself stand out any further from the pack, then I would make sure to take that offer up. You're welcome. Alrighty, Chelsea, last but not least, go ahead, put your question in the chat. What kind of, really, you're throwing a dinner party, Luke? Huh, that sounds like fun. You can hear him going, meow. So guys, since we are starting to finish up on the last reading, if you guys would like to join me on Discord, I don't do many readings on there. I probably should. We started a book club. Yeah, we started a book club. We are working on we're working on figuring out what our next book is going to be for March. We just finished up the Poisons We Drink. It was actually quite good. I gave it 3 stars, but it was good. I feel like I'm picky, so it was very middle of the road, but I think it got a 3.5 star average from the book club. Alrighty, Chelsea, let's see if your unemployment, I'm going to use, again, the crystal ball, since it's such a simple question. If your unemployment will get dismissed in your favor on Friday the 28th. No. So, no, I don't see that happening. I'll pull a card to see a little detail on that no there. Just a card to see what is going on. Knight of Cups. It's probably a little more like that. So the Knight of Cups, he is so he is faced with a lot of disappointments. Things are just not working out, and he's just kind of wearing his heart on his sleeve in that case. Apollo, get down. And it makes me wonder, because the Knight of Cups can be a little bit of like a hopeless romantic in terms of how they see the world. And maybe it means you misjudged how things were tending towards in this regard. I know you asked me about this last week, and I forgive me, I don't remember what the gist was on that. I think it felt like you were kind of in flux, and this is starting to feel like the flux is starting to level out, starting to become a little bit more coherent in how things are going. So I don't think that your case will get dismissed in your favor on Friday. But also, I will point out that when you put such strict timing on things, can really change how the answers are. So if we're talking about specifically on Friday, the 28th, then that will be a no, unfortunately. I still am exploring the whole concept of past lives. I'm not sure I'm sold yet, to the point where I do them for other people in the same way that I don't truly like to do dating messages and stuff like that. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Sorry for the technical difficulties. And I guess I'll see you next week. All right. Bye, guys.